Everybody say, say, how can I express my gratitude for all the many things you've done for me? Words are not enough, to say thank you. Say, Lord, you are my everything. You're my everything. How can I express my gratitude? How can I express my gratitude for all the many things Father, you done for me, yeah. Words are not enough to say thank you. Say, Lord, you are, you're my everything. Say, I call you Jireh. Lord, my provider. I call you Eunice. You are my battle. I call you Rapha. Hey. You are my healer. Say, Lord, you are. You're my everything. I call you Jireh. Lord, my provider. I call you Eunice. You are my battle. I call you Rapha. You are my healer. Say, Lord, you are. You're my everything. Uya matinyana. Uya matinyana. Uya matinyana. Oh, uya matinyana. Yeah. So uya matinyana. Uya matinyana. Say, I call you Jireh, say, I call you Jireh. Lord, my provider. I call you Nisi.
This is our world. Here we are in our community. There are the laws. There are the regulations. We have BWF Solicitors. BWF Solicitors, experts in all aspects of the law, family law, civil litigation, all immigration and nationality issues, representation in court, marriage and divorce. We pride ourselves to give you excellent legal services and follow through till we get you the right result and decisions. That is our mutual satisfaction. We have a team of excellent qualified solicitors and support team to help you every step of the way. Our senior partner, with over 30 years of unbroken service to the community, is a member of the Family Law Panel and has advised several lawyers and institutions in many legal matters. He is qualified to practice both in the UK and in Ghana. Come to us. Speak to us. Let us represent you. We are your trusted community partners when it comes to the law. Locate us on the 4th floor of the Anna House, 214 to 218 High Road at Seven Sisters in North London, N15 4NP. Nearest train station, Victoria Line to Seven Sisters Station, exit number 2. We are open for all consultations from Monday to Friday, 9:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. Weekends by appointment only. Call us now on 0208 493 7340 or 077 127 61884. BWF Solicitors, your trusted legal partner.
Na mema wo akwaba Emra Rainbow Radio akasa afidi so enne ya wada anopai utie yen ewo 92.4 FM DAB Plus Manchester Alexa uko abefontintan no so a odishem Rainbow Radio International obehu ye live and colored afei so bra Facebook no so na behwe lawyer Eunice na anopai betie nea owo edimayen ane anopai onyame edimere atumama yese yemra mesua ade ma me nkochia lawyer Eunice na afi yemfa dwumadi no enhihye so lawyer me pa cho me ma wache
Mejo so prophets na passion ho to say
Yesu ashira me papa na matamfo na ebere
yeda yam yase
emo na lawyer anapai mpomboko de.
Oh, yam yadum obi ahu ye. Yedum phone na so ehu ye. Nti yame na aboye ho ban.
Yo, menim sɛ anɔpa yi yɛwɔ nsɛm bi a yɛbɛbobɔ so na yɛtumi ama atiefoɔ ate nea ɛrekɔ so ase. Na ansa na yɛbɛkɔ na yɛakɔhwehwɛ, can I naturalize as a British citizen, as an EEA and national living in the UK no? Yɛnhwɛ update na yɛnhwɛ nea ɛwɔ hɔ nea yɛbɛtumi de aka ho. Wada Roma.
Pacho. Nti mechia yetiefo ene nkofo a omo ehwe yɛn ɛwɔ Facebook anaasɛ YouTube so nyame ehyira mo nyinaa sɛ ɛnɛ da yi mu abɛka yɛn nsa. And there's so ɛnyɛ me koa na mewɔ ha. My colleague Annie so ɛwɔ ha nti yɛwie program no nso a ɔno nso ɛde ɛbɛtoto hɔnom ɛwɔ yɛ pɔtɔ kasa no mu. Nti ɔno nso ɛwɔ hɔ a ɔbɛyɛ ɛno nso ama yɛn. In regards to updates, saying prophet no, usually no, yeah, immigration bra no, who say once a while no, nobody be beto hɔ senya nkorɔfo behu say ne say ɛna for the past few weeks now, me also about priority service applications, which is still ongoing for nkorɔfo per se whether for applications outside the UK and now say applications within the UK. Into was sika over to me etua for the priority service, which is £800 in the UK, and applications outside the UK just over £500. So per se, oh yeah, and also over to me, no, and then you can hope and be rest assured say they will make a decision quicker than the 6 months to 1 year and go for air train for the standard applications, And then there's something that they've introduced for in conform with India into so we are Indian national now open so by UK or bibi a friend or India professional scheme. Be at her for Indian nationals. Almost between the ages of 18 to 30. Into and no sa no yet to say ballot. Almost be ballot na can say as many people as possible should apply within a certain time into almost a ballot not ever shall see from the 28th of February to the 2nd of March. So just 3 days and then as many people who are able to apply, they have a number of entries are almost ever pick into at least almost I can say about 2,400 people will be selected. I almost to me a year application for visa. Into after the ballot selection, you then have to apply for the visa, and then obviously you have to meet certain eligibility requirements. Into even say where university and I say why year undergraduate degree and above. Na was could be a account no, they will allow you to come into the UK to come and also work. In see Indian nationals, I would say that is good news for them because almost say India is also becoming a fast growing superpower country. And see, it seems that our workforce no here empire. Into the government have also put this scheme together saying to me ama almost so abeboa UK economy no so. And then thirdly, in terms of uh, updates in regards to further leaves to remain, into there are nine about can I switch from my 10-year route no to my 5-year route? If you haven't committed any offenses until you meet all the suitability requirements, na utumi meet your eligibility requirements into ebi ɛne sɛ ebi a woyɛ parent of akwalaa a ɔyɛ British anaasɛ akwalaa a ɔwɔ indefinite anaasɛ watena hanom 7 years anaa krampo sɛ akwalaa a ɔyɛ EU ni a ɔwɔ pre-settled status. So if you meet the relationship requirements, now wait to me address say oh relationship with Akolano and you are actively involved in a colony life. That's one. Secondly, they want to see say who I would say oh your parents no so will immigration leave no edda so ewo until you haven't been able, I mean you haven't let the leave expire until no no oh yeah application and answer person oh yeah application answer na leave no ebewu. And then also they want to make sure that wo English either printing into way to me I English language test I pass it at a level A2. And then also they want to make sure say woyɛ obi a woyɛ adwuma nti wo sika a woagye no sɛ ɔmohwɛ income support a wɔde ma parents ne nkɔlaa ɔmo wɔ kurom ha a, wo sika no sɛ ɔmoyi rent ne council tax free mu a you will be able to get that amount. Nti ɛno no saa no, then you are saying sɛ you are able to meet all of the eligibility requirements nti ɔmo put you on the 5 year route instead of the 10 year route. Usually, it's only leave at almost the over to 10 year route, no, so automatically because when to me meet one of the requirements. But as soon as you are able to show, say you are able to meet all of the requirements and you haven't committed any criminal offenses, no, then they should be able to say, okay, as soon as see a wetumi akyerɛ sɛ womiti yɛn requirements ne nyinaa nti yɛbɛtumi aswitch wo from saa 10 year route no so to 5 year route. It is also important to know say if for one reason you were on one route which is either parents route and as a partner route from the beginning and I'll switch here to another route AB and now we are parents first of all. But after the first 2.5 and I'm worried into the second 2.5 was based on the partner route rather than the parents route. And subsequent 2.5 no has been based on the partner route. If you then switch again because there were issues between you and Woyerena or Sayako back to the parents route there is the appendix settlements, family settlements. I over to me, I can say 2.5 no. My copim 10 years into my 7 year application for indefinite leave to remain. Usually they are looking to see say obewo either the parents route or the partner route. But if it's all mixed up, there is still that appendix family settlements are over to me. I can say even though I mainly coherent 2.5, 2.5 on the parent route, and I said 2.5, 2.5 on the partner route. No, me pass me yeah, indefinite leave to remain applications and ya made to me and ya me afe born. So that is also there for in conform per se almost switch and as almost share saying on to me I yeah almost indefinite leave to remain applications. And then lastly but not least, I know say when it comes to the biometric card, they be a nkurɔfo ebisa sɛ adɛn nti na card no ɛka sɛ ɛbɛ expire December 2024 but me leave na ɔmo de ama me no ɛyɛ 2.5 years ɛbɛwu 2025 anaasɛ ɛbɛwu later on in 2026 whatever the case is no because government no ɛpɛ sɛ ɔmo yɛ biribiara digital nti ɔmo aka sɛ they are starting with the biometric cards now nkurɔfoɔ there are some people whose biometric card expires later. But nkurɔfoɔ a wɔn biometric card no ɛbɛwu by December 2024 no. It is because of the fact say government no aka sɛ they want to make everything digital and they want everybody to now have immigration status computerized. Nti ebi a wokɔhwehwɛ adwuma a ɛno ara ne sɛ wama wo adwumamfoɔ wo details bɛkɔ online akɔhwehwɛ wo immigration status. Wohwehwɛ dan a the same will have to be done by estate agents anaasɛ obi a ɔrema wo dan no. So they are making everything digital sɛnea obi ɛpɛ sɛ ɔkɔ let's say amanɔne na ɔsan aba back a everything will be on their system and they are introducing it by the end of this year. Into slowly and surely, they will start to put things in place, saying that by the end of December 2024, no, they would have made everything digital, saying for everyone who said they don't really need the card anymore. And so you don't need to renew the card after December 2024 because not bibia bewo on the system no so I'll move it to me every day I should say I nipa kro we obetumi aye dwuma obetumi arente otu kwan krampo na obedu airport a the information on your system no so nti ehun hia say obawo sa card no nti that is a few updates for your clients no.
Yo, emo anapai lawyer atwitwa ensem no bi edi agu amaye. Ma mensa enti nneema yi mu ema o na hye no nso se ene number yedi bedi dwuma no 0208 1334646 0208 133 1134 na opese wode WhatsApp messages text messages no eba ye WhatsApp line so na yitimi ekenkan edema lawyer na lawyer ma wo ho emuaya 0777 1950989 0777 1950989 na yedewo ama lawyer na lawyer intentem na wakeka nsem no bi ede egu amaye anapai yane lawyer Eunice edin komo sebi mabetuna kurum ha meye EEA ni ena aja menso mabeguremu na lawyer, can I naturalize as a British citizen as an EEA national living in the UK? Eno enande yedi honkomo lawyer yenko.
Yes. Okay, it's a professor Yamaboso and no. Say a cassa uye near na say uye EU near na ye cassa na free EU continents no so. Na oka EU and I say European Union no ho na wabetsna UK chrome ha. Yen na yen say as a result of Brexit ninti a lot of EU nationals to UK Chrome Hano had to now switch from almost blue resident registration certificate no to pre-settled status and as a now more permanent residence then they had to now apply for indefinite no based on their EU settlement scheme. So as many people as I know meaning say normal was our blue card, no. Some of them always wondered whether they could become British because say wabetna a corona ache na o share kwan bi so a to me atna krom no afeboa you want to also know how it is possible. You know, say under your previous EEA regulations, say ebia wo indefinite and that's so permanent residence. So what's now outside of the UK for more than 2 years. Now we'll sign a babaka. It means that now we lose permanent residence and that's we lose indefinite. No, because say on one year is idea and the uncrophobet to near back or anytime they want. And to say, oh, a permanent residence and I say indefinite, almost say, so what's not outside the UK for more than 2 years, and you lose it. And see, there are people who obviously young can say, omo nim sa idea ninti, omo koba, na at least they would at one point say me pese me settle and answer me pese me be British ni. There are also those, of course, who ebia omo buy no normal year students and see omo buy no na omo de let's say French passport eba and omo ne omo mami and as omo ne omo mami na omo papa and eba inti omo kita sa EU passport but no omo so nkola inti they came with the view say omo ebetna omo mami and as omo papa nchen and then school into almost so sad no they will be looking to see if they want to naturalize into say share nkofo or omo EU ni amobe to me and naturalize it could be said omo full grown adults it could also be said ɔmo yɛ nkɔla ɔmo abɛtena ha ɔmo pɛ sɛ ɔmo naturalize nso so. When it comes to your British Nationality Act, when you look specifically at your Section 6 now, it is by discretion into Home Office for no, and as a Secretary of State for the Home Office, no, and as the Home Department, no, or no, it was to me, over to me, I can say, or bet to me, I'm British citizenship, no, and as a on farm out. And it is mainly based on the discretion. When it comes to the requirements now, omo person who say we will be our full capacity into definition now omo dey to ho say obi a our sound mind into wadrim da ho pinting. It may be say for one reason or the other a be a obi mumu, but that doesn't mean say not drink end that ho into somebody being a disabled person no will not necessarily mean say na dream and that home into bibisa no so to me access say san nipa way na dream that whole painting a it may mean campus say over to me I provided medical evidence to say bibia yebeka bia san nipa way etiase. And then another requirements are more share the fact says and nipa way our person or naturalize no obetumi akyerɛ yɛn sɛ wonya indefinite anaasɛ wonya no restrictions to ne leave na ɔwɔ ɛwɔ kurom ha anaa. Nti it could be say before yɛ 30th of June 2021 no ɛbɛ so no na nipa korɔ no ɛwɔ permanent residence ne deda. It could also be say that person has had it for a very long time and anyɛ any effort to naturalize. And then it could be said nipa korɔ no nso ayɛ saa EU settlement scheme because na onim say after permanent residence no UK ɛka sɛ obiara ɔyɛ EU ni no ɛsɛ ɔswitch ɛba yɛ EU settlement scheme no ase. Nti ɛno no saa no na ɔmo nim sɛ obi saa no ɛsɛ ɔtumi ɛkyerɛ sɛ when you're a permanent residence and I said when you no restrictions to the leave no and that person has also lived here for a period of 5 years. And so for EU for no na it was fairly simple because of 5 years residence card na then koye wo application and I said unim say so what's now as a qualified person for that 5-year period now then you would be able to obtain permanent residence no. In say for EU in no, that was fairly simple because as soon as we have permanent residence no, and I say within the 12 months now we have permanent residence no, na at least wait to me actually almost say when you naturalization and I say when you indefinite they require naturalization. And then there was also the requirements so to make sure say with me yes English language test and a life in the UK test. Minim say nkorɔfo bebree sometimes almost through say ɔmo kɔyɛ test ɔmo very they don't want to even go near it. Minim nkorɔfo almost naturalize it because of those tests. And I don't think say it is fair to say because tests no air nti nkorɔfo ɛntumi nyɛ. It is far from the truth because to tell you the truth, minim nkorɔfo a wɔatumi ayɛ life in the UK a yɛnka ne sɛ ɔmo nhyɛ da ɛntena classroom da because of a kurom ha ɔmo abɛte borɔfo kakra because ɔmo yɛ adwuma wɔ kurom ha nti ɛsɛ sɛ ɔmo ne nkorɔfo ɛka borɔfo. Nti English language test no one obi ɛna ɛbɔ nkɔmmɔ kɛkɛ nti wobɛtumi akɔyɛ. And then when it comes to nkorɔfo a yɛnka ne sɛ ɔmo yɛ saa life in the UK test no saa nkorɔfo no nso ɔmo wɔ app a wobɛtumi de esua adeɛ no ɔmo wɔ classes a nkorɔfo ɛkɔ. There are so many resources available. Nkorɔfo a ɔmo nkɔ school that at least wonim ade kenkan kakra a and also boa. Senya uhu answer no na take care, then you know say at least answer question we me who da answer no nie. Into the more practice you do, no, the better you get at it. It's a in nkurɔfoɔ bebree a ɔmo nyɛ naturalization just because of that. But mpaboncho bebree, it is not as difficult as you think. It is really not. Nti mo having some hope kakra. Um, when it comes to fulfilling that English language test, no, they want you to meet SAR requirements at a level B1. Into one will be in born comma and as one will ba airborne comma with fear when him say, oh, at least the American yeah perfect English, but at least nimpa na mene ka say or tiase and I say me ko ejuma na mene obi kasa never connect to the American ase. So it is fairly simple test and answer exam. When it comes to the life in the UK, say I'm my boss or no, different apps and different books and classes that people can go to also improve in say and also sano move it to me. Yeah, it's I think 19 marks out of 24. In see it's fairly simple. So move it to me in your resources now, move it to me, I test no. I and when it comes to ebia nipa na ɔmo ɛhwɛ sɛ ebia watena kurom ha for 5 years. Kurom na wo say watena for 5 years no. Almost share how long what's not hanom without being absent. And I said there are specific periods of time almost say you haven't been absent from the UK. So for that 5 year period, almost say they want to make sure say to climb for more than 450 days. Because the way to climb more than that now, then it means say unhyɛ Emma UK kurom ha ɛnyɛ wo kurom. Nti ɛnyɛ adeɛ a wobɛtumi akyerɛ sɛ wopɛ sɛ UK kurom ha ɛyɛ wankasa wo so wo kurom. Two I think it said 450 days is roughly a year and a half or almost 2 years. I'm just saying it from the top of my head. But when it comes to nkurɔfoɔ a ebi a yɛnka ne sɛ based on yeah EU regulations, the previous EU regulations 2016, there was no requirement as to the number of days that ɛyɛ sɛ wotena kurom ha anaasɛ ɔmo hwɛ wo absence. And say a lot of people would not have been used to days being absent. But say by a British Nationality Act as there's specific number of days are almost into say oh kase mama UK chrome ha abeye wo chrome na unto kwan for more than that 450 days now or more can within the 5 year period na then unim say you've met SAR requirements no and then almost say within the 12 months now wobɛyɛ saa naturalization application also so to make sure say you haven't been absent for more than 90 days. 90 days is roughly 3 months. And also Sano, you should be able to show say within that year no you haven't traveled for that period of time. So we are EU ni now to kwan no then it will be very difficult to prove it. And let's all realize that we are EU ni our passport no biometric. And since I will scan your passport now, they have all of the information. It may be that your passport is not stamped, but because of the fact that all biometric or passport no almost scan they know when you entered and when you left the country. Into no sano na say ultimate share almost say me too kwan this number of days and I say me too kwan this number of months and also sano say when to me and Shamo say wait to kwan less than the 450 days and I said the 90 days no more kana then it means that it will be very difficult for you to show them say what my UK chrome ha abeye wo chrome ɔmo gyina nneɛma wei bi so ɛka sɛ ɔmo refuse so naturalization application because ntumi ɛnkyerɛ ɔmo sɛ saa period of absence anaasɛ those days na ɔmo ɛrehwɛ sɛ wode etu kwan no wo akyerɛ ɔmo sɛ yes wo meet saa requirements no. And if you are an EU national, na wonim say wonhyɛ da ɛntena kurom ha for that period of time, then you have to be careful about making such an application. Usually no nso menim sɛ students a ɔmo baa UK kurom ha with EU citizenship no, there was that requirement for comprehensive sickness insurance. Nti ɔmo kaa sɛ wobɛtumi akyerɛ sɛ time na woyɛ student no na wowɔ saa comprehensive sickness insurance nti ɛnyɛ NHS no ɛna ɛbɛhwɛ wo sɛ wotumi kyerɛ sɛ na wowɔ insurance a at least sɛ woyare a wobɛtumi ahwɛ wo ho. When it came to us having that agreement with the EU, because yeah, free EU no, the government had this withdrawal agreement with the UK government no so, and it was proposed that a lot of the treaties that were binding for EU for no so will continue to remain because of agreements now. Yeah. And one of them being the fact say oh yeah obia oh yeah EU near winya sa students and I say what's na hanom as a student na so to make sure say na oh yeah obi nso so a what's our comprehensive sickness insurance. There are people who were able to show ABR say normal was our comprehensive sickness insurance. Ebim so wɔ hɔ a ɔnwentumi ankyerɛ. And see, under the EU settlement scheme, no, there was no requirement say omobeshe sa inyama no. They only made the requirement for residents no the main requirements. And so after relationship, no, I said to make sure say what's not UK Chrome have for either a continuous period of 5 years and I say a continuous period of less than 5 years. Into most people who would have come under that bracket would have had to show that comprehensive sickness insurance. But due to current cases, any new EU settlement scheme, no, so they don't have to necessarily show say na omo ewo sa comprehensive sickness insurance, which is good for nkofo not first. Yan can say not under your EU regulations, no, definitely no. Na so omo to make sure sa comprehensive sickness insurance, no so. Inti eno sa no. So over to me actually under your EU settlement scheme, they say, oh continuous period of 5 years I would atena chrome hard dia then you can then go ahead and say when you will indefinite leave to remain 1 year abe pound since unya will indefinite leave to remain free chrome have for more than 450 days and within the last 12 months I will be with naturalization application also free chrome have for more than 90 days. Insɛ no sa no na at least wode kyerɛ mo sɛ wotumi anya wɔ indefinite no. Sɛ woyɛ EU ni na of course June 30th deadline no ɛpa wo ho wentumi anyɛ application for EU settlement scheme na there is still time to do that application. Ɛna ne sɛ wokyerɛ sɛ wentumi anyɛ application no at that time into a reasonable excuse deɛ nti a wentumi anyɛ application no by the deadline and as a grace period given from January to the 30th of June 2021. Nti sɛ wowɔ reasonable excuse a na wode ama ɔmo sɛ ebia na wonnim sɛ EU settlement scheme bi ɛwɔ hɔ a ɛyɛ sɛ woyɛ because wagye wo permanent nti wodwen sɛ biribiara yɛ okay but afei na wehu sɛ without EU settlement scheme no nneɛma bi wɔ hɔ a wontumi ɛnyɛ nti woyɛ saa application no for settled status under your EU settlement scheme. Nti ɛno no saa no na ɔrekyerɛ mo sɛ ampa watena kurom ha for more than 5 years continuous period. Nti ɛno no saa no na wɔkyerɛ mo sɛ, oh okay, 5 years na mede atena ha anaasɛ 7 years na mede atena ha anaasɛ 10 years na mede atena ha nom no menya me indefinite leave to remain no deda. When it comes to making the naturalization application, no, our guidance say 1 year application no by the 30th of June 2021 na, then it means say na wabɛyɛ obi a onni asetena ɛwɔ kurom ha. Nti until you've done that EU settlement scheme, no, they will not regard you as obi a ɔwɔ permanent residence and answer ɔwɔ no restrictions to your leave. Nti to them no, ɛho hia sɛ wobɛyɛ saa EU settlement scheme ansa na wɔn recognize sɛ ɔwɔ indefinite leave to remain. Nti obi saa no, that means sɛ wɔn de indefinite leave to remain no ma wo under the EU settlement scheme there, and you have to wait another 12 months to be able to show say you haven't had any restrictions to your leave and sign away to me ISR naturalization application. Nti ɛno nso ɛwɔ hɔ saa ma nkurɔfoɔ a ɔmo ntumi anyɛ EU settlement scheme no before 30th June 2021. And I know that when it comes to nkurɔfoɔ a ebia yɛnka ne sɛ na ɔmo the application atom for naturalization by that time, there are still some people who are telling me that ɔmo yɛ application ne dedaada still na ɔmo nte ɔmo nka. If there's anybody like that, patcho bebree ma ɔmo hu sɛ ɔmo time limit, because usually it's a 6 month period na yes ɔmo process the application into sɛ ɔmo yeah, then they have to be written to at least explain the reason DNC ɔmo fa response and buy. And I know that there are some people who, for one reason or the other, yeah, because of the fact say na omo any haninti, they were not sure. Into say na for one reason or the other, ebia utu kankakra into na unim say so yes EU settlement scheme no. Like I said before, say wowɔ obi a ɔwɔ permanent residence na wotena outside the UK for more than 2 years then they would have said say you would have lost it. But under your EU settlement scheme, no, they've extended that period from 2 years not to 5 years. Instead of you losing your permanent residence, no, because of the fact that what's now outside the UK for more than 2 years, no, wobɛtumi akyerɛ wɔn sɛ ebia na mewɔ permanent residence, mekɔ amanɔne ebia mekɔ back to me kurom because na me maame yare anaasɛ me papa yare serious na ɛsɛ mehwɛ ɔmo na ɔmo ni obiara nti na ɛsɛ mehwɛ ɔmo. Matena hɔ no more than 2 years no, but not more than 5 years. Nti meyɛ application no under your EU settlement scheme sɛnea me nso metumi anya saa settled status ni bi. Nti ɛno no saa no, sɛ woba a na ɔrekyerɛ mo sɛ woyɛ application under the EU settlement scheme. Ebia na wote kurom ha, na watena kurom ha for more than 5 years. Nti even though I wonni card a ɛkyerɛ sɛ na wowɔ permanent residence no, na at least watena kurom ha for more than 5 years as a qualified person. Ebia na woyɛ adwuma, nti wobɛtumi akyerɛ sɛ na woyɛ adwuma for that 5 year period. Anaa koraa mpo sɛ na ebia na woyɛ students with comprehensive sickness insurance, nti wobɛtumi akyerɛ mo sɛ na wowɔ saa comprehensive sickness insurance no for that period. But even so, now under the EU settlement scheme, no, there is no requirement to show that comprehensive sickness insurance. Nti ɛno no saa no na ɔrekyerɛ mo sɛ yes, matena me kurom no so for more than 2 years. Under the previous regulations, no, so, but because my application under your EU settlement scheme, Ninsi, meaning say I'm allowed a period of 5 years. Insi mentna honum for more than 5 years. These are the reasons the NCA meant to me back to the UK within that period. Insi me reasons na me wo any. And yama and because I haven't stayed for more than 5 years, Nancy, more mommy sa settled status and I say indefinite leave to remain no under the EU settlement scheme. In say no sano almost share with documentation na almost share say bibia eda na kwemu na omotumi a process ama sa indefinite and I say settled status no under EU settlement scheme nase. Saa nimpa no nso saa no, they will still have to be able to show say omunya indefinite na they would have to have remained in the UK for another 12 months into so what's now UK no for another 1 year after or mama indefinite na with me I application no but you have to show say now would say UK Chrome for that continuous period and you met the eligibility requirements under your EEA regulations no and san or yet sa EU settlement scheme application because when it comes to the naturalization applications no say oh yeah application no based on the fact says to say why your EU settlement scheme ebia uyo bia 2019 and now back room her and there it will take time for you to get to your 5 years and answer for you to get your indefinite but say oh ka say wotena krom ha unya wo registration certificate answer na unya wo permanent residence na they want to see evidence of for permanent residence any wo EU settlement scheme no into say when to me and mo say na wo meet requirements no under the previous regulations na o mo say why your EU settlement scheme na they are still eager to find out say were you able to meet the previous EU regulations and sana ubenya o EU settlement scheme na because of the fact say o ka say ubetna hanom unya o permanent residence and sana o ye EU settled status into saa yema we ni na no omo hwe sanya omo betumi ede sa naturalization certificate no amount. So when it comes to EU nationals, very it's not as complicated, but at least so to me actually say at least what's not a chrome for that continuous period of 5 years. Either say ebia break abem and I say there's no break at all, no. As long as you are able to show say you have done the EU settlement scheme and if you met the regulations prior to um, June 2021 there, then you can also prove that at least now or permanent residence no now the EU settled status no so aka ho ama omo say yes na ummiti bibia into say a wo pese oyɛ saa application no for naturalization. As I said, omo person who said o person UK Chrome ha eye Chrome into they will want to see that at least what's not a Chrome ha for some period of time. Into say bibi saa ɛwɔ hɔ a wobɛtumi de akyerɛ ɔmo ebi a waware obi a ɔwɔ kurom ha na sɛ ebi a wo ne wo family ɛna ɛte kurom ha nti ɛnyɛ ade a wobɛtu akɔ baabi a because wo ne wo maame ne wo papa ne wo siblings ɛna ɛte kurom ha anaasɛ wo ne wo extended family ɛna ɛte kurom ha. They look at all these things in terms of application for naturalization na ɔyɛ no. And I know that when it comes to these applications, no, sometimes it can be quite technical into so only all of the requirements now pacho bebre kohun lawyer na wow na only application no as successfully as possible into prophet major no ha na at least nkonform person mu bisa mo nsem no omo betumi abisa.
Yo, emo anopai lawyer atwitwa bi agu edi amayen na mewura lawyer akachi na mabisa no ensem bako mienu na watimi aboboso amaye especially lawyer amayati ase se yan stampo o passport no mokra na office o me kwa me bani nyina no yan stampo me passport munti okay eno ani se wudi ni hwi o kwa wo ba lawyer say ɛho bɛtumi aba asɛm ɛfiri sɛ sɛ wode wo passport no ɛscanne because ɛyɛ biometric nti ɛrekɔdo ɛno na mepɛ sɛ mebisa lawyer sɛ ɛkɔba no saa na ɛkwan bɛn so ɛna mɛfa ɛna naturalisation no matumi ayɛ ana ɛsia ni sɛ ɛnya prove sɛ matu kwan akɔ aba nti mmara no atia me mentimi nyɛ hwee mfa ho biom lawyer gyina so ma me sɛ memfa obi mmra na afei ma me emuayɛ ɛwɔ m'asɛm no ho mepakyɛw mema wo akye ɛma wakɔ aba
mpakyɛw megye wo so me mama so mu akye
yɛgye wo so ɔhema
mpakyɛw mo nyinaa mo mpo mo ho yɛ
onyame ahyira yɛn papapa mehwɛ sɛnea lawyer ayɛ sokusi wei a ne ho yɛ paa
yɛbɛ nyame ase nyame se me hu mpakyɛw wei deɛ ansi Eunice wei deɛ nneɛma mmiɛnsa bi na mpakyɛw mepɛ sɛ mesrɛ na mebisa one me naturalisation me kobo me sanono in November. I know say it takes 6 months for them to give you a response, but as I maintain, say okay, we've received your application or something of that sort. Until now, I was wondering, say, did I do it right or what? Because I've not heard anything aside the email that I got from mom taking me biometric and some I submitted my documents to them. And then secondly, so I have a friend now, or I say, oh, you're British. Or worry this month. Now, the partner no was here, or by seeing the Hanum Nega, or more define themselves and not seeing Yamiado Momo worry. Until now, he was asking me about the amount of money he's supposed to have in his account. Say there's a certain amount of money he needs to have in his account, showing say he will be capable of taking care of the wife or something of that sort, because of say Oshe website, so he didn't find anything. It's not catching them the minimum that much there. So I will ask you guys because more there. And lastly, so I have another friend as well on EEA. Now why settlement that is Okufa by last year November no. Into 2.5 years the man no. Into na ono episode who say Nikuno obetumi change. Is there any way obetumi change ako 5-year route? And now no and ka opese okofa na ase eba for a visit, not to stay. But on him say ebia no Nikuno emadano. How she's able to obetumi aboama na ase no aba for a visit? Is there any way bia? And then I'm saying jam patron mitie mu ntimi someone na mo hu ndi ntimi busa ama o mutwe de ne sema we nkeke na pese mu tam da nyame sham.
This is that's it. 3 questions in one. Okay, so I'll start with the last question first. In say okofanu kunu eba another 2.5. I mean the 5-year route I'm hoping, but almost man 10 years. I don't know why they gave her 2.5 on the 10-year route. It might be say maybe I went to me and meet certain requirements into now more than a 10-year route so. But say over to me actually requires say over to me and meet requirements now maybe also in time that the partner route. So to me, chair say I'm part where nipa no more relationship knitting. And then secondly that say asetna wasitna no enwuye. Into that so e wasitna e kromha. And then you have to be able to show say ebia why your English language test, but since I will call you renewal no obey is no at a level A2. And then you also have to show say it is our financial requirements of at least 18,600 gross annual salary a year in see and no sano So wobɛtumi akyerɛ no no with accommodation which is suitable for mo mmienu sɛ nkɔla ɛwɔ mu a for mo mmienu ɛne nkɔla no nso. Nti if she is able to show all of these requirements together with her husband, yeah, then they could switch from the 10-year route to 5-year route because I don't have much information. So I'm in a horse in terms of Nassau, no, or on invitation, so on visitor, definitely. Over to me, actual invitation letter. Your penny, Mr. Bernardo, also yeah in church last week in regards to your visit applications. Or share yeah, say a company able to me actual letters no afa unconform person or back visit no. In see of course, visit application is possible for NASA na opesa obema no ebesra mo ewo UK Chrome ha. And then the second question was to do with Wadamfwa, Oya British ni awako ware obi wo Ghana. Na nipa no so a student wo Chrome ha, but osan call back to Ghana. In regards to enono, say or person who financial requirements na it is in regards to ono a ɔyɛ British citizen no nti ɛyɛ sɛ ɔtumi kyerɛ sɛ ne pay a ɔgye no ɛbɛ so saa 18,600 gross pay a year nti sɛ ɔhwɛ ne pay slips ne P60 ne bank statements ɛne adwumafoɔ letter a ɛkyerɛ adwuma a ɔyɛ pay a ɔgye the fact sɛ adwuma no ɛyɛ permanent then at least obetumi akyerɛ home office for ne say I ne pay na ɔgye no ne gross pay no ɛbɛso saa 18,600 a year. And then in terms of first question, obviously why your application for naturalization, but still la won't say she. Yes, into so oh yeah, application now. Usually they don't send anything apart from email now. UK Vicas for no send it to tell you that they've submitted your documents. Into unless the caseworker needs something, usually no ɔmo nsɛnde hwee mbrɛw but sɛ ɔmo approve wo naturalization application deɛ then you would expect an email within the 6 months nti yes mempro ho just be patient and wait if it goes past the 6 months then of course every reason to make a complaint say 6 months na pa ho but still na wonte hwee nti wopɛ sɛ wohu their airco. Yes, in terms of application now, why you know, you just have to be patient to wait and see what comes up. Yeah. Prophet, now who is that baby?
Mo ai na me bisa sɛ ye EU fo ye be wura mu ye fi se o ye nya wura mu as EU enti ye de sɛ ye di akɔneaba na sɛ ebia information na ye nte ho asɛm na
Yeah.
ye kɔ ne ye ba ne ya scan ye passport no enti ye de ye fi sɛ ɔmo stamp mu nti no is not counting against us ɛna ye di atenantwie hwi na ɛsɛ ɛkɔba sɛ emra no ɛbɛkyere a ɛkwan bi ani hɔ a yɛbɛtumi afa so na yɛtumi naturalize anaasɛ ɛdeɛn na ɛwɔ se yɛyɛ
Nti bibi saa no na wɔkyerɛ sɛ when it comes to wo permanent residence anaasɛ wo indefinite na wo say na wo before Brexit deadline na ɛbɛto yɛn no sɛ wontumi ɛnkyerɛ kwan sɛ woatena hanom for that continuous period without traveling for the 450 days there and unfortunately no me advice will say kɔyɛ naturalization application no because ɔmo bɛka sɛ ɛnyɛ ade a woma UK kurom ha abɛyɛ wo kurom nti bibi saa no what reasonable excuse now wobɛtumi de ama ɔmo ɛno koraa mpo no you should be able to show them in exceptional circumstances nti it's very difficult to show say wokoba no it was all for that exceptional circumstance nti bibi saa no me advice so scramble say kɔyɛ naturalization because ɛno no saa no na o kyerɛ mo sɛ ɛnyɛ ade a woyɛ mo ma UK krom ha abɛyɛ krom but sɛ yɛ obi a ebi a yɛnka ne sɛ wabɛtena hanom na watena hanom 5 years but ofiri ha ɛkɔ no na biribi esi nti na ɛsɛ ɔkɔ na ɔkɔhwɛ sɛnya nneɛma ɛbɛyɛ yie wɔ amanɔne nti ɛno no sa no sɛ wobɛtumi a provide reason for the fact sɛ ebi a wofiri ha for the 2-year period nti na ebi a wakɔyare ɛwɔ amanɔne nti na ɛsɛ wotena ɛhɔnom anaasɛ na wohwɛ wo maame anaasɛ wo papa because na obi ani hɔ a ɔbɛhwɛ mo anaa kora mpo sɛ wokɔhyia obi a wodwen sɛ ebi asomasi wei ɔbɛyɛ obi a mɛtumi ne no atena ɛna nipa korɔ no yareɛ but ɛnyɛ ade a wobɛtumi aka sɛ na wopɛ sɛ wotena ɛhɔnom nti saa reasons wei ne nti wopɛ sɛ ɔmo hwɛ na at least ɔmo tumi ɛnya kwan bi so a ɔmo bɛtumi ahwɛ sɛ still na wetumi ayɛ saa EU settlement scheme when you're indefinite because of the fact sɛ wetumi akyerɛ ɔmo sɛ baabi a wokɔɔɛ no wetumi akyerɛ reason deɛ nti a wentumi amba back before the 5 years the 2 years was gone nti ɛno no saa no they would then have to consider wo exceptional reasons no ansa na ɔmo ama wo saa indefinite no under the EU settlement scheme before a wobɛtumi koraa mpo ayɛ saa in naturalization application nti ɛno no saa no you have to be able to show sɛ under your EU settlement scheme no wetumi akyerɛ mo deɛ nti a wɔ saa absence no ansa na koraa mpo a ɔmo bɛhwɛ the reasons why you were absent under your naturalization no ase nti like I was saying 450 days no is roughly at least 1 year and a bit but say woka sɛ na wowɔ indefinite leave to remain and you have remained for that 1 year period before wobɛyɛ wo naturalization application dear and there for that 1 year period no so we'll make sure say wonya wo indefinite anaasɛ wo settle status under your EU settlement scheme no unto kwan for more than 90 days nti sɛ wonya wo indefinite no under your EU settlement scheme because wetumi akyerɛ mo sɛ there was exceptional reason there and then now watena mu for 12 months now wetumi akyerɛ mo sɛ watena mu for that 12 months but 5 years continuous residence no so na unto kwan for that 450 days na ɔmo ka no because wetumi akyerɛ mo sɛ na wowɔ saa residence no ansa na wo sign so ayɛ saa application for settled status and anaasɛ indefinite no under your EU settlement scheme.
ɛmmɔ ɛnɛ anɔpa yi lawyer akyerɛkyerɛ nsɛm no deɛ mayɛ sɛ wohwɛ wo time no a ɛyɛ 1 minute to 10 enti mmerɛ no abɔ ani ane sa ɛnso wobɛtumi aba line no so on 0208 133 4646 mmerɛ a meba bɛgya lawyer ɔmo ama yɛ na yɛdi aba na wie yɛ ɛpakyɛ mema wakye ɛma wakɔ aba
Mede also prophet any la Eunice. Part of where there.
onyame ahyira yɛn papaapa
Lovely. Now Eunice, if I show Peboko,
Nyame adom patcho na wo so ɛ.
you're the lawyer. I have lawyer. Last week in the review article, because Home Office, almost I withdraw, almost appeal that a person, you next man, after two settlement, there's no need for you to do the setting status again. And your sales still continue. If I thought, is it authentic?
Nti na nkurɔfoɔ ɛde kɔkɔɔ sɛ meyɛ EU ni a mayɛ pre-settled nti mayɛ saa limited leave to remain application under your settlement scheme na ebia na ɛsɛ mekɔyɛ indefinite no mewura fie ma mentumi ankɔyɛ nti ɛno no saa no member abɛyɛ illegal anaasɛ dɛn nti ɛno no saa no na home office foɔ no kaa sɛ ae sɛ woanyɛ indefinite now ɛndeɛ wone asetena wɔ kurom ha because after 5 years na ɛsɛ wokɔyɛ wɔ indefinite no ɛna court no kaa sɛ under your withdrawal agreement, no, UK government no and to mean say nkorfo my pre-settled and as someone IS are limited leave to remain application no be illegal and I say near sitting after that 5-year period. Into BBC now went to me anya. Are you saying say be illegal and court can say there be because of the withdrawal agreement that was agreed, there's no way for 1 year indefinite no will become illegal. And so that was what the case was about.
Yes, but the review said, my sister Home Office, Omar withdraw that appeal and said there are no more appealing against the lane. Is it true, sir? Home Office, Omar, I withdraw more appeal now.
So, like I was saying, into why your pre-settled status now went to me and your settled status now, it will not go against you. Into let's say why you were pre-settled. 5 years no so no. We if say obey and I say went to me and there shouldn't be anything against you to say because 1 year indefinite into untumi high dying and I say untumi ntu kwan and I say yen can say bibi wo ho a ebeye nsensanso ama because when to me anya indefinite no definitely no they expect you to do the pre-settled and say so only pre-settled ne dia ebe hard dream because na quiet to say only system ni mu kra. But as long as you have the pre-settled, not 1 year indefinite, no, and yes, it's here. Pacha, what I say?
In this case, does it go to only the national and answer it goes with their partners as well? Their partners who are already having the pre-settled.
In regards to Obia or EU ebusoni bia and answer for crampa more I retaining or more rights, no. Yeah.
Okay, in this in fact, Eastern here now no pre-settled, must not 3 years. And is there a need for me to do pre-settled after 2 years, another 5 years now? I shouldn't bother to do it at all.
And so let's say now I worry and now we are pre-settled. Sisia, what divorce?
Yeah.
Definitely no.
Yeah.
After you've divorced, you need to do another pre-settled because Sisia, our retaining will rights. And says it's important that you do the retained rights application. Send your own another 5 years. And say no, because your circumstances have changed, you have to do the pre-settled status again.
Okay, me marry. Sorry, me worry. They were pre-settled, must not 3 years. Yes, it's 2 years no more. I was saying before settled. No, is that a need for me to do the settled status? And I said, fortunately, I shouldn't bother to do the settled. No, I'll still be legal without doing the settled status application.
I think because of the fact, say, it's become a need for most employers, if you have to do the settled status just to meet certain, should I say, requirements for certain employers, for instance, just do it because I don't see why you wouldn't have to do it. For, let's say, argument's sake, sir, 3 years pre-settled. You see as a reason for you to not do the settled status. One employer no, the guidance say he has to make sure say leave to remain and answer indefinite leave to remain. Say if you don't have it, he will not employ you. For just that argument's sake, if your employer is asking you why is it that your pre-settle ends so and so dates, but only evidence to show say why your settled status are, that will also go against you because some employers will not understand it if their guidance is saying something else. So just for argument's sake, just do it so that they don't constantly come at you.
All right, Eunice, thank you so very much. God bless you all.
Yo, emo atie for yedamase aha ene yedi dwumadie no ebesi emere aso enti yesesem ama mame adwoa sa abiteki oba enti lawyer yemo no tofa na mefa wo no ma no entudwa na fe yempegya yemu mame aba.
Pacho, Annie, Pacho, over to me, I what your photo casting na at least yet to me a journey if we have because I know the prophet so take a time off address that time.
I know the DBI tiki nti or the make kota medi for.
Hello, good morning, everyone. Happy Thursday. I hope everyone is well and that we've all learned something new. I have a bit of a cold, but I still hope that you can hear me okay. So the topic for today was, can I naturalize as a British citizen as an EEA national living in the UK? Now, there are different rules depending on whether you are married to a British citizen or not. And I'm going to start off with applying for British citizenship when you're not married, to a British citizen. So the relevant law can be found in Section 6, subsection 1 of the British Nationality Act, 1981. And I'm just going to run through the requirements. So firstly, you have to be at least 18 years old and you have to be of full capacity. And full capacity is defined in Section 50, subsection 11 of the British Nationality Act. And it basically just says that you have to be of sound mind, which means that you have to understand that you are applying for, British citizenship. And as Lawyer Eunice said, if you have a disability, this does not mean that automatically you do not have sound mind. So it depends from case to case. The second, or rather the third requirement is that you have to meet the residence requirements. So before you apply, you have to have lived in the UK for 5 years. And within those 5 years, you should have been in the UK. You should not have been outside of the UK for more than 450 days. So as Lawyer Eunice said, that is just over a year. And within the last 12 months, you should not have been outside of the UK for 90 days. You also have to pass a Life in the UK test. This is just a simple test. It's not too complicated, and it consists of 24 questions, and you have to pass around 18 to 19 questions in order to pass. And the test is about like the British values, customs, traditions, etc. And everyone would have to sit this test unless an exemption applies. So for example, if you're under 18 or over the age of 65, or if you have already sat the test before, for example, for your indefinite leave to remain, or if you have some type of disability as well. You also have to sit the English language test unless an exemption applies, and you have to pass it at level B1. So again, that is not too high. They just want to make sure that anyone who has a British citizenship can communicate with people at work. And you also have to be someone of good character, which means that you should not have any recent or serious criminal convictions. Now, on to the requirements for when you are married to a British citizenship. So the requirements that I just listed, all of them basically apply. It's just that in terms of the residence requirements, you only have to live in the UK for 3 years instead of 5 years before you make the application. And within those 3 years, you should have not been outside of the UK for 270 days. And within the last 12 months, you should not have been outside of the UK for 90 days. Now, as Lawyer Eunice said, the Home Office can use its discretion to decide whether to give you the citizenship or not. And lastly, you must have settled status before you apply. So make sure that if you do not have any leave under the EU settlement scheme, that you have that first before you apply for your British citizenship. Thank you.
Yo, emo yada wasi ewo update odi amaye onyame enhyiraw anopai aha ene edi dwumadi ne besi kai hunu se yafa obi mre enti yen sentimi ento aso enye bibia biem o frɛ BWF Solicitors 0208 49 37 340 0208 49 37 340. Ofred Lawyer Eunice a 075 35 81 3910. Lawyer Eunice 075 35 81 3910. And an emergency number, Uncle Ben, 077 127 61884. And I say Lawyer Richard 079 60 20 1500. Aha, and I'm ready. Ebe ma ye kwan na yedi dwuma no asie. Yafa obi mre. Onyame hira o, nyame ya adom adasende. Wante me nka obeti Uncle Nat nka. Lawyer, nyame hira o. Ye besan akasa biem. Meda se. Bye bye.
Bye.
This is our world. Here we are in our community. There are
We have a few Facebook questions, please.
Okay, Auntie Maria Manu Abua. Please, my cousin is a Ghanaian citizen and has indefinite or settled status derived from her EU father since 2016. She has a British son and a British passport holder husband. They have separated and preparing to divorce. She wants to apply for her British citizenship as she passed the life in the UK and B1 English. The question is, can she apply on her own, relying on her indefinite, or Home Office will require her to get supporting documents from her husband to support her application? The reason is the man is mean and I won't support it. Please, any suggestions? Nti when it comes to obi a ɔwɔ indefinite sɛ nyame kyerɛkyerɛ mu no ɔwɔ saa indefinite leave anaasɛ ɔwɔ saa settled status under yɛ EU settlement scheme n'ase deɛ then all she needs to show is that ɔwɔ saa indefinite no because ebia before a yɛbɛfiri mu no na ɔwɔ permanent ɛna wasan so ayɛ saa indefinite no under your EU settlement scheme nase. Nti under your British Nationality Act, she's showing that you'll be our full capacity or sound so at Nakrum have for a continuous period of 5 years. Ɔno nso saa no since our own year and indefinite no what's not a chrome have for more than 12 months and I said 12 months in say no saa no or almost say on two quite for more than 90 days within that 12-month period and on two quite for more than 450 days within that 5-year period in say no saa no na or almost say because well yeah English language test any life in the UK in say or per se or your application under your section 6.1 of your British Nationality Act of 1981. Into ono ankasa betumi egyina ono ankasa no ho ede aye. Yeah. Lawyer, please, my card is going to expire in June. However, I am going to apply for naturalization after June. Do I need to renew my card before applying for naturalization if they are going to stop issuing card in 2024? And see, so indefinite leave to remain. Now, indefinite no able. I don't understand how your indefinite is going to expire in June. Usually it's the okita restricted leave to say limited leave to remain and as a further leave to remain and no na meaning say ebewu unless a beer will indefinite card no will craft for 10 years because I know say with biometric cards no your almost say will facial image necessary after a period of 10 years into say we craft will biometric card no for 10 years dear then it will expire after a 10-year period. If you want to naturalize there, then I would say, of course, do the naturalization application. The fact say card no ebewu this June no does not change anything because when the it's not I mean it's indefinite leave to remain. It is not the card which determines say or indefinite. No, it is the fact say home office for no amount sign indefinite. No, and so you don't necessarily have to go and renew the card if you are going to make the application for naturalization. Inside no sano over to card no to baby na why your naturalization, because as soon as you become British, automatically no ebe cancel or indefinite now no until you no longer have indefinite because you have British citizenship. Into pacho over to me akoye or naturalization no. Another question. Good morning, lawyer. Please, what is the way forward for a mom whose son just got his British passport through his father and is living in Ghana with his mom? They both want to come to the UK and the mom is not married to the father. Thank you. Okay. Nti sɛ akwadaa no wɔ British passport na ɔmaame no doesn't get along with akwadaa no papa na ɔpɛ sɛ ɔba UK a, usually sɛ wohwɛ yɛ appendix FM of the immigration rules na ɛka sɛ woyɛ parent na wopɛ sɛ woyɛ application for let's say entry clearance koraa mpo no a ɛyɛ sɛ wotumi kyerɛ sɛ akwadaa no a wogyina no so no ɔte UK kurom ha nti akwadaa no yɛ British citizen a ɔwɔ UK kurom ha. And then you also have to be able to show say saa akwadaa no a ɔyɛ British citizen no nso ebia because ɔte kurom ha you play a role in the child's life. Either say akwadaa no because of the fact that they have nobody to look after this child until you have that sole responsibility for the child until it has come to the point say ebia wow we are parents no wokyerɛ wɔn sɛ because you have that sole responsibility anaasɛ akwadaa ne papa anaasɛ ne maame no a ɔte kurom ha has abandoned the child anaasɛ ɔnyɛ deɛ ɛyɛ sɛ ɔyɛ ama akwadaa no nti ɛyɛ wasɛdeɛ ne sɛ ɛyɛ sɛ wohwɛ akwadaa no nti ɛyɛ sɛ woba UK kurom ha nti in the case where the child is already with ne maame a ɔwɔ Ghana no, it makes it quite difficult because akwadaa no ɛwɔ ne maame nkyɛn, ɔnni ne papa nkyɛn. And so it makes it quite difficult in that sense. It would require her to come through other routes into so or person obegye consultation advice and there over to me about your office year what 214 to 218 of Tottenham High Road no so London N15 4MP into your fourth floor of Anna House into over to me a book appointment with their office na wabehu ehu kwan a wobɛtumi afa so nti sɛ wopɛ sɛ wobook appointment so a yɛ number ne yɛ 0208 493 7340 wobɛtumi afrɛ yɛ Monday to Friday from 9:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. menim sɛ question wɔ hɔ biom a good morning, lawyer. If you are renewing your 2.5 years visa and send your application, but your employer asks you to go home and wait until you get your decision, what should you do? Into say where your first 2.5 application into unni asetna na afe na wo be your 2.5 dia, then usually it will be the case that your employer will tell you to go. But say wowɔ 2.5 deda ɛna wosan ɛyɛ another 2.5 before wo first 2.5 no ɛbɛwu deɛ a, then usually your leave will carry on nti da bi a yɛka sɛ under section 3C no you have the right to say your leave is still extant anaasɛ wo leave no ɛda so ɛwɔ hɔ until a ɔmo bɛ make a decision on your application. Nti your employer cannot tell you to go and sit at home whilst your employability checking service ɛwɔ hɔ a ɔmo bɛtumi ahwɛ sɛ wobɛtumi ayɛ adwuma anaasɛ wontumi nyɛ adwuma. It is their responsibility to check. So any any employer who is feeling lazy to do that check no na wakɔhu lawyer na at least ɔmo atwerɛ mo because it is their responsibility to also do the employer ability checking service check no to be able to make sure say nipa no obetumi adaso aye adwuma na. Is there any other question? Okay, so Emmanuel say, how do I check the genuineness of care companies offering certificate of sponsorship? uco.gov.uk, you type in licensed sponsors. Be all the licensed sponsors here in the UK. I'm telling you, there's thousands and thousands of them, probably about 40,000 employers who are on the .gov.uk website. Into licensed sponsors on .gov.uk. Yes. Okay, quick. We say, good morning, lawyer. Just a quick one, please. I applied for my pre-settled status under the EU settlement scheme in 2019 and got it, and it was delayed till 2022 when I received acceptance and my BRP. My question is, can I apply for my settled status in 2024? Since that will be 5 years from the initial date since I have been in the UK, or do I have to wait till 2027? Thanks. Okay. Kweku one check the basis for which you were granted pre-settled status. I'm not sure if it was based on the fact that you were a spouse or you were a dependent of your parents. Into let's say you were a spouse. If you were a spouse, then it means that from the dates you were married, if you were in the UK, you'll be counting from that date till the 5 years is up. Or if you were a dependent of a parent, let's say, and you were granted your pre-settled status in 2019, the date that you said you were granted the dependency. So let's say because oh yeah, oh mama ba oh betina UK Chrome ha 2019, and I said 2018 now do two you were granted the pre-settled status in 2022 because year 2019. So if you are saying say you were dependent, depending on what age you were, so if you were over the age of 21, now why your application no, they will look from the dates that you were granted because you have to show evidence of dependency. And to say if you were granted in 2022 because that is when they were able to see say you had evidence of dependency there, then it will carry on from that time. Usually in Kolanom we are under 21 a year, there isn't much that they have to prove. So if you were under the age of 21 in 2019, dear, then you can say from the time I your application in 2019, no, you were a child of your parents. The dependency would have come when you were 21 and above. In see from 2019 to the 5 years is up in 2024, you can continue with your settled status application. Into that is that in terms of Kweku's question. I think so that was the last question. Into yɛda etiefoɔ nyinaa ase ɛne yɛ viewers nyinaa ase. Nyame nhyira mu nyinaa sɛ ɛnnɛ da yi moabɛka yɛn nsa dasɛn dɛ yɛbɛsan so ahyia biom. Nyame nka mo nyinaa.
This is our world. Here we are in our community. There are the laws. There are the regulations. We have BWF Solicitors. BWF Solicitors, experts in all aspects of the law. Family law, civil litigation, all immigration and nationality issues, representation in court, marriage and divorce. We pride ourselves to give you excellent legal services and follow through till we'll get you the right result and decisions. That is our mutual satisfaction. We have a team of excellent qualified solicitors and support team to help you every step of the way. Our Our senior partner, with over 30 years of unbroken service to the community, is a member of the Family Law Panel and has advised several lawyers and institutions in many legal matters. He is qualified to practice both in the UK and in Ghana. Come to us. Speak to us. Let us represent you. We are your trusted community partners when it comes to the law. Locate us on the 4th floor of the Anna House, 214 to 218 High Road at Seven Sisters in North London, N15 4NP. Nearest train station, Victoria Line to Seven Sisters Station, exit number 2. We are open for all consultations from Monday to Friday, 9:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. Weekends by appointment only. Call us now on 0208 493 7340 or 077 127 61884. BWF Solicitors, your trusted legal partner.